Good morning, everyone. Wanted to show you a quick update on the new features with Google. I know that Mike Blumenthal posted that you can actually transfer ownership of a listing now. In that case, I wanted to kind of expand on that not only do you not have to transfer the ownership, you can actually assign a manager to the Google Places listing. Now, there's a little bit of confusion here on what a Places listing is versus a Google Plus page. So we'll get into that in just a second, but I wanted to show you, all you have to do is just open up their Google Plus page. Obviously, this is in the new dashboard. You'll notice this customer right here. If you go there, and all you have to do is simply go to your manager section and add a manager on your Google Plus page. Let me go back and I'll show you right where I did it. Now it opens up a duplicate page, but this is their Google Plus page. This is their Places listing. They're two different sections, but they're so closely related that a lot of the things and a lot of the changes that you make on this side actually affect both of them. So once I did that and I added a manager, added myself as a manager, I went into my other account here and got my account right here. What I actually had to do was, before this would show up in my Places for Business dashboard, what I actually had to do is open their Google Plus page, accept the manager role, and then click on Edit the Business Information. Now you'll notice that when I edit this business information from the Google Plus page, it looks a lot like editing the listing information in the Google Places section. Here's a side-by-side for you. Now the only thing that you can't do on this side is add the pictures. So you'll notice the pictures right there, and you don't have the option to add the pictures right there. That's because this, once again, this is the Google Plus page. And more closely, it's the Google Plus local page. So let's expand on that a little bit. There's been a lot of confusion on what's a Google Plus page, what's a Google Places listing. First of all, if you'll notice up here, this is an overview for the account. So you're in the Google Places for Business account, which will show your Places listing. Right here, it shows your Google Plus page. Now, once again, these are closely related. And once again, this is a Google Plus local page. If you go over here and edit the listing information, this is your Google Places listing. You can get your insights, your tracking information, how much traffic they're getting, what search queries they're getting. A lot of this is familiar, looks a little bit different to the newer local experts than the old dashboard, but it still gives the same information. The only thing that bums me out is you can only go back 90 days. You can't go back a year. So in any case, let's go back here. So once again, this is the dashboard. This is the Places listing. This is the Google Plus local page. Now when you click on that, there's two ways to get to it. You can click on it here from the main dashboard, or you can click on the left-hand side. This takes you to their Plus page. Plus local page. Sorry, I'm still even getting used to it. It brings up their map listing, their information. This is what someone would see when they search for the company on Google. So let me actually show you really quick what this looks like as opposed to a claimed listing or a non-claimed listing. So, oh, hey, I'm still in the old Google Maps. So let's take, for instance, this is the old Google Maps. So there's a listing right there. And when I click on it, it goes to their Google Plus local, this page. And there's an indication, hey, I'm the manager, yay. Now, if I go back and I search, let's just say, I'm going to search a locksmith in Salt Lake City. I'm going to go to the main search here. Oh, this is not good. There we go. So we've got all these companies. Let's see if Glenn's Lock and Key. Now you notice how the map shows up here. There's no images. Now I'm not saying that this is not a claimed listing. All I'm saying is that it's not, it doesn't have its Google Plus local page associated with it. simply because they haven't added an image here. There's a lot more information that can be added as far as the descriptions, and there's a lot of changes that need to be made. The biggest thing is that you can see only 2 tabs up here, the About and the Photos. On a properly claimed and merged Google Places listing and Google Plus local page, you see all these tabs that show up in the very top. So someone can go straight to the reviews, someone can go to posts about the business, and a ton of other information opens up and is available to the public. So I hope that really helps out. Keep in mind that once again, you can now become or assign a manager to your Google Places listing and your Google Plus local page. The Google Plus local page has always been that way. So to expand on this a little bit more, let's kind of get into where the different types of pages for Google Places and what they are. And I am going to actually close down this account and show you mine. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to go right into Google Places for Business. Now you'll notice I have 2 listings in here, and that's fine. But when you add, let's see, you actually have to go to Google Plus. So yeah, we have a couple tattoo clients, so that's why that's showing up there. Sorry, it's a little bit racy if anybody. Hope you don't get offended. I won't. Okay, so going back here. This is Google Places for Business. In order to show you the different types of pages, this is where the confusion comes in. If you go into the dashboard of these, of Google Places, it will only allow you to create a Google Plus local page. You can't create a Google Plus business page or some other type of page. That's a common misconception. So now, to avoid any confusion, or maybe to confuse you a little bit more, which a lot of people tend to be doing right now, I'm going to show you something. If I go here and I go to, let's see, my dashboard, and I'm going to go to the pages that I own. Now you'll notice there's a company right there. I didn't have them in Google Places because that's all I did was I created a Google Plus local page. You can still separate the two as closely related as they are. But when you go here to create a page, and you normally only want to do this if you have the old dashboard, and still it's not advisable. They still are wanting you to wait to upgrade to the new Google Places dashboard. This is the only one you will use if you are dealing with a physical location. So please keep that in mind. I'm trying to save a lot of confusion here. Don't create any of these pages. These are social pages. These are business pages. I mean, you're talking about a product or a brand. This is something that you want to sell online. You're talking about a company. This is a company page. Yeah, you can still have a company page and the company location page. That's fine. But keep in mind, you don't really want to duplicate that to avoid confusion in the public. And then you've got arts, entertainment, TV, or sports. All of these different types of Google Plus pages can get really, really confusing. But for our industry and what we're doing with the local search, only worry about this one, the local business or place. You're dealing with a physical brick and mortar business, which Google wants. And once again, you all know that it has to have a physical location. Google still hasn't updated us on if they're going to support service-related industries or not. Well, they are, but they're just don't know when they're going to support it. So once again, if you're in the new Places dashboard, don't worry about going to Google Plus and creating the Plus page. The cool thing is that when you verify this with the postcard, this section does not actually get added until this is verified. And then it will say create a Google Plus page right here. As soon as you click on that, it automatically creates the Google Plus local page, and you don't have to send another postcard to verify it. So I hope that really helps out everybody with a little bit of explanation on how this works. If you have any questions, let me know.